So the food then travels down the esophagus, goes between the shoulder blades and into the horse's stomach. And we've all been taught that the horse's stomach is small, and to illustrate the horse's stomach today, I've got a rather battered recycled organic cider vinegar bottle. Why does the horse have a small stomach, we might ask ourselves? Well, for me, the answer is because the horse hasn't got horns. If the horse is able to defend itself with horns like cattle would, it doesn't need to run away so fast. So if the cows are threatened by a predator, they can form a circle around the babies, their horns at the ready, and any predator can get skewered on that if they're brave enough to try it. But the horse doesn't have horns. He's got to be able to run away from his predators, and very successful at that he is too. But if he has a small stomach that empties frequently, he's not having too much bulk occupying space that is needed by his lungs and his heart for that flight. So the horse's stomach is small because he hasn't got horns. It's situated quite well forward in the horse's body, more or less halfway between where you sit on your horse and his heart, which is between your feet. So that's the horse's little stomach. Pop that on there for now. In the stomach, acidic stomach juices are being produced constantly. So remember I said that the saliva was only produced when the horse was chewing, but the acidic stomach juices are produced all the time, so there's no stop when the horse isn't chewing. And I'm going to put out another 4 buckets that will illustrate the amount of stomach acid that is produced in a day. So the stomach juices are acidic, the saliva has got bicarbonate in it to neutralise acid. Good idea, produced in equal amounts, but only so long as the horse is chewing for a sufficient length of time. So when we come along and give the horse concentrated feed that doesn't need so much chewing, he's getting his calories, that's fine, but he isn't getting the chew time, so he isn't producing sufficient saliva to neutralise all that acid. So immediately we're in a situation where the horse is having too much acid in the stomach, and this will predispose the horse to stomach ulcers. That acid is in there, it's going right through the horse's system. He will also get problems further down the line if there's not enough saliva to neutralise the acid that he's making in the stomach. When the horse is eating forage, is grazing, or is eating hay, or is eating, say, Lucie Nuts, or is pure beet, the stomach will never get overfull. It gets to a certain point, and every few minutes it will discharge the excess. So it likes to keep the level between about 1/3 full and 2/3 full. If we give the horse starchy food, which he isn't adapted to eat, and he doesn't have the enzymes to break it down, so if we're giving the horse a starchy cereal meal, we won't give him anything else to eat after the meal, and we won't work him, because what we want to try and do is keep that starch in the stomach for as long as possible to get the maximum chance of breaking down the starch in that feed with the limited amount of amylase that the horse produces. So that's the reason why we have some of the rules of feeding, and why, if you're feeding the horse more naturally, a lot of those rules just no longer apply. So the food goes into the stomach, gets mixed up with the acid in there. Similar thing happens with rabbits, and their digestive system is quite like a horse's, but then they're both deer creatures. They live in family groups, they eat grass and run away from predators. So rabbits are just mini horses, and horses are just big rabbits.